let's take a look at all of the second round of reverse retros as the Explosive Wonder presents NHL Look Back. The second round of reverse retros. Last time I talked about the first reverse retros because the hometown remix is coming up. And I'm gonna do the same thing. And Seattle will be included as I'm wearing a Seattle Kraken jersey today. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. First, starting off with the Ducks. As always, we'll go in alphabetical order from Anaheim to Winnipeg. And I'm well aware I missed some teams for the first round of reverse retros, and I will get to them in their team segment. For their second reverse retro, the Ducks looked to their inaugural away jersey from 1993 and swapped out the old colors for the current colors. It was one of my favorites of the second reverse retro program. The Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes did another throwback to that green third jersey from 1995. This time they did it with a desert sienna base instead of the purple that we saw last time, that we saw for the first reverse retro. Calgary Flames. For the Flames' first reverse retro, they conjured up 1995 and removed the red, some of the red along the waist and the sleeves of the jersey, and once again that jersey has become their alternate jersey. For their second reverse retro, the Flames decided to look to the 1990s once again, this time going with the pedestal design and over black this time instead of red, and the black elements get changed to yellow. And the forward-leaning font returns. Chicago Blackhawks. For the Blackhawks' first reverse retro, they conjured up the 1948 away jersey and just swapped the colors, swapping white for black and black for white, and kept the red where it was. For their second reverse retro, the Blackhawks decided to use their jersey scheme from the 1940s, but opted for wordmark instead of the logo, which is much more palatable in my opinion. The Colorado Avalanche. For their second reverse retro, they blended the symbols of their state flag with their home jersey from the 1950s. And the Avalanche didn't pay any tribute to the Colorado Rockies of the 1970s in this design. The Detroit Red Wings, for their second reverse retro, the Red Wings kind of went an odd path and decided to go with with their 1926 away jersey from that time. And yes, teams only had away sweaters in the 1920s. And sometimes they were dark and sometimes they were white. This one was white. And swapped out the white for red and swapped out the red for black. The Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers revived a classic. They revived the Todd McFarlane design from 2005, which was their third jersey. And personally, I like this look more than what they had back then. And no, I was not around in the 90s, but I did see pictures. Dallas Stars. How could I miss the Stars? I mean, for their second reverse retro, the Stars decided to go with a black version of their 1991 away jersey. White was swapped for black, and also the yellow was swapped for gray. Okay, Los Angeles Kings. For the Kings' second reverse retro, they decided to go with their away jersey from the 1960s, but offered to make it white. White instead of yellow. This is the first time we have seen this crown on a white jersey. It was only used on purple and yellow jerseys in the past. Minnesota Wild. The Wild decided to do a dark version of their first reverse retro, which isn't really kind of grasping the theme of reverse retro, but they liked it so much that they decided to bring it in a dark version. This is now the team's current alternate jersey, and I love this jersey. It's one of my favorites in the reverse retro program. Next up, the New York Islanders. The Islanders decided to go back to the Fishermen, but with current colors, with no teal except in the crest. New York Rangers. The Rangers decided to do a royal blue version of the Lady Liberty jersey, and some say this is what made the Broadway Blue Shirts famous. That's their nickname. But I feel like it was more navy blue like the first reverse retro design. Anyway, even though this one is very less accurate, I still love it. It's still a good jersey, but it has some new striping, unlike the original jersey from the 70s. Next up, the Ottawa Senators. The Senators decided to go with the black version of their 2007 third jersey and swapped out their old logo for the current one, which isn't really grasping the concept of reverse retro. They also swapped in some of the red for black, and also some in the white for black as well, making this a two-tone jersey. Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pittsburgh Penguins decided to revive their 1991 away jersey from that era, replacing out white for black and black for white. Yeah. Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers went back to that black third jersey from the 1970s. Decided to make it orange instead of black, which means all of the orange black elements on that jersey became orange. Next up, the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks, for their first reverse retro, they decided to do a gray version of their 1991 alternate jersey. And it worked out. I love this jersey. It's one of my favorites in the reverse retro program, along with their second reverse retro design, which takes place from the last design that California Golden Seals wore before the Sharks came. And I do love this design a lot, even though I'm not really a fan of wood marks. Next up, the St. Louis Blues. For their first reverse retro, the Blues decided to make a red version of their 1995 home jersey and decided to shuffle the red elements for blue and the blue elements for red. This is the first time we saw the Blues in a red jersey. And personally, I'm gonna get some backlash for this, but I love this jersey. It's new and different for the Blues, and yeah, it forces them to reach out into other jersey designs, and I love it. Next up, the Seattle Kraken. I'm wearing Seattle Kraken today, in case you didn't know. And no, I'm not a Kraken fan, although they are one of the many teams I cheer for. But, yeah, they weren't around yet for the first reverse retro design. So they decided to join the fray this season and decided to introduce something that the Bombers wore. I don't know when exactly, probably in the 1940s if I'm not mistaken. I feel like the original jersey was white and red, so they summoned the red elements to become deep sea blue, and they decided to make the primary color ice blue, which is what the team calls those colors. The Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning went for a white Storm the Sea jersey, and to be honest, this is one of my least favorites of the reverse retro program. Moving on to the and swapped out the white elements for blue and the blue elements for white. Moving on to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs decide to do go back to the 1940s. I believe that was right, and decide to do and decided to add some extra stitching effects in the crest, and I believe also in the names and the numbers on that jersey as well. So yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights, for their second reverse retro, decided to forgo any real history and decided to say, what could a Golden Knights third jersey have looked like in the 1990s? And this is what we got. A diagonal Vegas-y wordmark with the old signage of the Stardust Resort on the crest, and also the numbers and nameplates. This was interesting because it embraces the Vegas culture while also looking kind of retro at the same time. So this is one of my least favorites in the reverse retro program. The Vancouver Canucks decide to go in the 1940s and introduce the West Coast Hockey League Vancouver Canucks, swapping out the red and the blue for their current colors. Washington Capitals. The Capitals decided for their first reverse retro. For their second reverse retro, they decide to go with the Screaming Eagle in the original colors, but instead it has a black base rather than a blue base. And the black elements are switched to blue. Winnipeg Jets. The Jets went back to their WHA partner again and decided to do the 90s logo and jersey scheme in the current colors. This one is one of my favorites of the reverse retro program. If you want me to do a ranking of the reverse retros, Boston Bruins for their second reverse retro, they went with a white Pooh Bear jersey. And that just about does it for all 32 teams and their reverse retros. Now this is not a reverse retro jersey, but anyway, if you would like me to rank the reverse retro designs, let me know in the comment section down below. I think I will do it eventually. But if you like hockey jersey content, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Kapow!